Hello, and thank you for joining me today. This is a podcast with purpose. This will be an easy listen, a simple, feel-good conversation to help you discover your true self and live your life on purpose. I am your host, Peggy Romero, and it is my heart's desire to walk with you and share with you raw and authentic coaching and stories. I have years of experience, so I've got lots of stories. Wasting no more time, let's get started. I love setting goals and I love to achieve my goals. I expect to achieve my goals, and often I do. Sometimes I even surpass my own expectations. But the last few months, I've been struggling. I'm struggling terribly. It's very unlike me to get into a slump, and even less likely that I would stay in a slump for this long. One thing that I know is that the body supports the mind. You have to take care of your body if you want your mind to be working optimally. This has not been the case for me today. I don't know how to explain it. When my friend, coach, and mentor had a heart attack, cardiac arrest in October, it devastated me emotionally and spiritually. It knocked me down, and I've not really been able to quite stand back up yet. I'm not sure why. I'll say for sure I miss him. I checked in with him every day. He was my accountability partner. I sent him my food log every night before I went to bed. And every morning when I woke up, I had a thumbs up from him. Well, occasionally I had a thumbs down when I cheated or didn't do what I was supposed to do. But then I'd get right to it and do my morning routine. Green Focus Power Hour. Great way to start the day. And then I'd send him my message, done, and he'd send me back a thumbs up emoji. I met with him on Mondays with the other coaches and every Tuesday morning for 2 hours, just the two of us. And sometimes we had other things to talk about in between. So he was a huge part of my daily life, every day, for years. He was also my cheerleader, and I wanted him to be proud of me. I hated to disappoint him, the thumbs down emoji. Now I have to ask myself, was I really living my life for his approval? Was I doing it for him or for me? It's crazy. I thought that I knew, and I never once considered that I would fall without him. And if I'm honest, today I still kind of feel like I'm on my knees, just looking for a way back up. I've never been down this low emotionally for this long. And you guys, I have so many goals. I never run out of things to think about. There's always more things that I want to do and be. And I'm having a hard time processing all the possibilities right now, where generally I don't. I can just work through stuff. I've always been a person who has several irons in the fire. I work good like this. Honestly, it's just who I am. I love being Peggy with purpose. I love doing my podcast. I enjoy researching so that I have information for my blog posts. I just really enjoy helping people. I love giving them a hand up just for no reason except to see them standing on their own 2 feet. It gives me great joy to see other people shine. I have a friend who's struggling right now, and I went to be with her at a health event at a college in Yuma a month or two ago. I went there for her to help her find out if she could get financial aid, and I wanted to see what classes were available for her, what, road she could take. And much to my surprise, I found out all kinds of stuff that was available for me. Shocker. When I was young, I wanted to be a nurse so bad. I'm talking about being a kid, like in high school, and also in my 20s when I got a divorce. I thought that if only I'd known that there was financial aid and different things, I would have definitely went to nursing school. But I had zero self-esteem, and I didn't know that there was anything available for people like me. I didn't think that I was worthy, and I was also told I was never going to be a nurse, that it was just ridiculous. And so, of course, I believed it. I didn't have any reason not to. I didn't even, really consider it. It just seemed like a pipe dream, like a wish that was never going to come true. I didn't pursue it. But while I was with a friend looking into the programs for her, I found out how close I am to actually being able to get into the nursing program and getting my own nursing degree. I could be an RN fairly easily. Now, of course, I still have those stinking science classes standing in my way. But when I wanted to do it before, when I was in my 40s and went back to college, it was very competitive in Portland to get into nursing school. And I would have had to have straight A's in science, like straight A's in everything, but including science. I'm so much better at the arts than sciences. And so I did master those classes, but I actually went to the community college and tried to take just one class, an anatomy and physiology, just one, because I had my kids and everything too. So I had a lot of other things to do. And I just wanted to take one and see if I could get an A. Well, the first quiz I got a C. And I'd studied for that quiz, and I'm usually a really good student. So I'm not sure if it was just a really tough class or if it was the school or maybe just the teacher. But I do know that if I get into nursing school now, I would already be in nursing school and I wouldn't have to get straight A's in science like I did when I was in Portland. It's just a different climate now. So if I get in and work really hard, then I'm sure that I can pass the state test and become a registered nurse. So it's like a goal that's in my reach. It's like right there if I want to grab it. But then what? Do I really want to go back to work? Would I work full time? What kind of nurse would I be? I mean, I would have a boss and a schedule. I've never had a boss and a schedule since I was a kid at McDonald's. Well, I did have one boss once. His name was Herb. I worked at a spring manufacturing company for a short time, but that didn't last long because I had a boss, I guess, and a schedule. But I could work at hospitals or doctors' offices. I mean, it would be a lot different. And I've worked my whole life. It's just that nobody's told me what time I had to be there or what time I get off. But I do work long and I do work hard. And I'd love to be an RN and be able to go to people's houses, people that can't get out, or maybe I'd be a hospice nurse or a traveling nurse. I mean, that would be great. I love to travel and I could live in different places for, 3 months or 6 months at a time. I think that they pay a lot better to do that too. That'd be fun. I can live wherever. I think you can even go to Canada and do that kind of stuff. But there's lots of other stuff I want to do too. And that would be like really like holding me in a certain spot. I had started going to Toastmasters last year and I really enjoyed that. I am an author, a speaker, and a coach. I'm a person who loves helping people. I've only put on 2 retreats, but I enjoyed both of them. And I know that I could master that and get better and better at it and have great big workshops and retreats. I also know that if I go back to nursing school, that I'm going to have to focus on my studies. So all of that stuff would get put aside. There are, on the other hand, many classes that I've already taken because I have my human development degree. So my focus would be on the sciences and all the practical nursing things. And the sciences I already know would take a lot for me to study. So I would have to give up a lot of the other things I'm doing in order to be able to accomplish that. So it's something that I had wanted to do, but never really had the opportunity. And then do I want to live in Arizona for half the summer while I get this degree? I don't know. I already know it's hot and nearly unbearable. But on the bright side, I have friends that live there. I have several friends that live there year round now. So this is something I'm considering. Once I say yes to it, I will make my decision and be all in. Just not there yet. But back to my goals for now. I'm usually well on my way to achieving my goals at this time of year because I'm usually have them set by mid-October. Well, set by the end of October, but at least talking about them and having them written down in the middle of the month. I did already have a lot, coming through when this happened with Bill. And I wasn't worried about any of it because I'm really focused and I'm a person who can stay on track. But even though I don't know what I'm doing right now for my career goal, at this moment, there are many everyday goals that I could get back to focusing on, right? So I can't use the one thing, the one big decision to not do anything. Remember, the only things that we're really in charge of is how we set our day, how we close our day, our diet, our exercise, and our mind. How do I perceive the things around me? To keep your mind set, you have to keep your nervous system in good working order, which is the green zone. In order to keep your nervous system in the green zone, you have to stay focused in the moment, this moment, right now. And at this moment, everything is okay. It's as simple as that. It takes a lot of practice to get there, but it really is that simple. I'm aware that I could switch my nervous system by just taking in a deep breath. Seriously. Just a few seconds, breathing in slowly, intentionally, and then breathing it out will bring me back to the now. It will connect my vagus nerve and calm me. And that's a wonderful practice. But it is a practice. And I'll turn off my sight and forget to do my practices. I mean, honestly, with this little funk that I'm in, my diet hasn't been right. My exercise has gone almost non-existent. I mean, I still go for walks, but that's not enough for me. And I fully know that the body supports the mind. And you know that now too. So, how do you think my mind's doing when I'm not taking care of myself? You see, I know that I need to exercise a lot. I thrive on doing weight training 3 days a week, cardio 5 to 7 times, walking my 8 to 10,000 steps a day. And I don't do well with sugar. I've already proven it to myself. When I eat too many carbs, I get tired and lethargic just a little while after. It feels awful. I also know fully well that if I start eating junky carbs, sugary stuff, that I'll end up craving junky carbs and sugary stuff. It's a vicious cycle. Sometimes, like right now, I feel like I'm on a hamster's wheel. And I'm so tired of running on it, but I'm too tired to jump off of it because it's going to take even more effort to get off. But here's the deal: I know how to feel good. I've proven it to myself. I know what to do. I know the right diet and the right exercise program for me. I know how much sleep I need. I know that the Green Focus Power Hour works to set my day perfectly with intention, with a to do list a mile long that I can get checked off where everything is accomplished. I also know that closing my day with gratitude works great for me. Journaling out any unresolved conflicts before I go to bed gets me the much needed sleep and rest that I need every single night. I know that it matters what time I go to bed and what time I get up. If I can stick on my schedule, I'll be the most productive possible. I've been working on myself for years. I've never put myself first, ever. But I'll tell you, just creating little habits one at a time has changed my life for the better forever. I am first now. You have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of anyone else. And you can't try and do everything at once. Just start little by little. I know the life I want, and I know how to get it. And yes, typically people start working on their New Year's goals as a resolution on January 1st. And I'm not ready for that yet because I haven't made that big decision for a career yet. I've never really been into resolutions, anyways, because it seems like as soon as you fail, you're like, it's just an excuse to put it off for another year. Well, I can't put myself off for another year. I know how to feel good. So not feeling good really just feels lousy. Perhaps I should just start at the beginning when it comes to my goals. Instead of doing like all 5 life categories and having everything set in stone like I generally do, I can just give myself a break. Instead of doing career, finance, health, relationships, and personal spiritual development, I'll just say it again. The body supports the mind. My mind isn't right because my body isn't right. So maybe I just better start with health. Open my day with Green Focus Power Hour. Close my day with gratitude. Keep my mind right by living in the now every minute. Drink my gallon of water a day. Go for my walks and get my sleep. And of course, eating the right diet and getting the right amount of exercise. I'd bet you $1 if I'd stick to that for a couple weeks, I'd feel so much better emotionally, well, spiritually and physically too. So yeah, that's the ticket. Focus on the things I can control. There are only the 5 things that any of us can control: how we set our day, how we close our day, keeping your green focused mind, which means living in the green zone, and our diet and exercise. Everything else is out of our control. Taking care of our own self each and every day is really the only thing that we have. So if you're struggling like I've been, let's do this together. Please join me by starting with these basics. After that, we'll decide what great things we can accomplish from there. Thanks for joining me today.